Rocky, the Academy Award winning Best Picture of 1976. A great film, a classic. And yeah, I only have the VHS. Can you believe it? I don't know. I don't know. I think just maybe the VHS has so much nostalgic value for me that I never really upgraded to DVD or Blu-ray. Yeah, I've like run it through basically. It's faded at this point. Watched it so many times. This is a classic. I love it. I love this movie. Love Sylvester Stallone in it. He's so great. I mean, I know not everybody loves Sylvester Stallone, but what a great role that he wrote for himself. Hey, oh, Adrian. Hey, oh, hey, oh. I love him. I love him. I love this movie. Such an inspirational sports movie too. Of course, about the boxer Rocky Balboa who goes the distance, and it does kind of, though it is inspirational, kind of teaches a nice little lesson. I guess it's not always about winning. It's about going the distance, and that's kind of winning in and of itself. It is in part based somewhat on a true story, well, like inspired by a true story, I guess you could say, of a very similar circumstance where pretty much a nobody boxer, got his chance and did like a big event, which is kind of the story of this movie with the Apollo Creed wanting to fight for the centennial, making a big show of it, and bringing Rocky into the mix, and Rocky having to prove his worth and fight against this champion. So it's a great story, timeless story. Great boxing scenes in this movie, very well done, very brutal. So I mean, definitely that brings pretty much. I mean, though it is a compelling drama, and it is more character based. I mean, definitely the main event of the movie is to watch the boxing match between Rocky and Apollo Creed. Very, very great and brutal. And his face is all like, "Cut me, Mickey, cut me." Oh, so great. But really, I mean, the appeal of this movie, I feel, for not just myself, but for most people who are in love with the movie or who have fallen in love with the movie, is the relationship between Rocky and Adrian. I honestly think, sincerely, I think it's one of the best love stories ever put on film, to be honest. I mean, there's just something about their relationship. I mean, they both feel, they're not, they don't have any worth, basically, in their own ways. I mean, Rocky's always being called a bum and stuff, and, he's not where he thinks he should be in life, and, meanwhile, Adrian, the quiet, reserved pet store owner, always undermined, always belittled by her brother Paulie, played by Burt Young, and kind of how they find each other and develop their relationship. And it's a beautiful relationship, especially as, they help each other grow in kind of way. And it works. I mean, it's a little cheesy, but it absolutely works. One of my favorite scenes in the movie is the Christmas scene, when Paulie's going off the handle and, Adrian, finally speaks up for like the first time. She's like, "I'm not worthless." Oh, it's so good. So good. I love it. Talia Shire, excellent in her role. Definitely a great pairing between her and Stallone, and kind of an unexpected one. Both were nominated for Oscars for this. Neither one. The movie did win Best Picture, of course. Well known for winning Best Picture, won Best Director. I think it won Best Cinematography, which if it didn't, it should have, because I mean this is one of the early innovators of the Steadicam technology, which of course worked great with the training montage. Is definitely one thing that this movie is famous for, is for Gonna Fly Now, the whole training montage, which is brilliant. Really well done. A great movie, and again really inspirational, but with a human element to it, and definitely it has all these characters in the mix, has all the cards on the table. One of the key components to it being Mickey, the trainer, played by Burgess Meredith. He was great. He's such a lively character. "You're a bum, Rock." Oh, I love him. I love him. And Burt Young is good too. Both Burgess Meredith and Burt Young were nominated for supporting actor as well, which is pretty cool. So pretty much the entire cast, aside from Carl Weathers, were nominated. But maybe just because Carl Weathers was, kind of a douchebag character, maybe they didn't like him as much. But then again, so was Paulie. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Maybe too many elements there. But everybody's great in this movie. I think it's a fantastic story. Again, I mean, it's just kind of a buzz phrase that you have to apply to this movie. Inspirational, but it's true. I mean, this definitely is the kind of movie that like makes you like, okay, I'm gonna work out a little bit more. I'm gonna prove my worth. I'm gonna beat the shit out of Apollo Creed. So of course, I mean, what's infamous about the movie? Rocky technically doesn't win. It is a draw. But his victory is in going the distance. So that great end scene, it's like, Adrian, and they embrace. I mean, that's the end of the movie. I love how again they don't linger on anything. They just end it there, and that's the perfect ending for the movie. Then like 8,000 sequels followed, and I like the Rocky series in general. I mean, all of them are pretty good. But there's something about this first movie that is timeless and it stands alone as its own individual movie. So I can definitely see how some people probably might not like the sequels as much, which I can understand. I totally can. But this movie definitely stands on its own as being a great film and great entertainment. And again, I mean, I think Stallone really, of course, made a name for himself with this movie. Not only starring in it, but he wrote it too, and he was nominated for Best Original Screenplay as well. So you don't see too many people who get that kind of Oscar attention for both writing and acting, like maybe like Woody Allen and Orson Welles for Citizen Kane. So it's something. I mean, definitely it's interesting that among those big names you'd see Sylvester Stallone, but for good reason. And of course he went on to direct some of the others as well. Definitely a great storyteller. Sylvester Stallone is. What can I tell you? And this is a timeless movie. This is his legacy. Stallone. I mentioned this apply to other actors, but it's true. I mean, like 100 years after he's gone, people are going to say, Rocky, what a great movie. Did it deserve to win Academy Award for Best Picture? I mean, yeah, I think it was deserved because it is a feel-good movie, and it's something that it is like a feel-good movie is nice to win. You don't always have to feel like despair. You don't have to maybe think too much about issues or whatever. But I do think Sidney Lumet's Network was the best movie of that year. So kind of disappointed that didn't win. But whatever. Rocky, not a bad movie at all. In fact, a great one, a classic. And yeah, it's just the best. What can I tell you? So that'll be my review, and thanks for watching.